everybody, so it's Mickey. It is Wednesday, no, Thursday, the 3rd or the 4th, something like that. Doesn't really matter. It's October. So I wanted to give you an update on some things and sort of vent a little bit. So yeah, as you can tell, these are different stairs. We are in our new house. I filmed a vlog on a house tour, but I am probably not going to post that one because my house is just completely disgusting, and like downstairs looks a lot better, but upstairs is horrible. The baby's room is nowhere near ready or anything. Like, it's just boxes in her room right now and they're not hers. So anyways, today I had what was supposed to be a midwife appointment. Now I say supposed to be because I did not see my midwife today. As soon as I got there to the office, I signed in and the lady starts looking in the computer and says, "Oh, did you know you're seeing the doctor today?" And I'm like, no. And she told me, she's like, "Well, I think the midwife is in labor delivery. She's probably in labor." I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I had mentioned in the past, since I had gestational diabetes and I was on metformin, that they wanted me to see both the doctors and the midwife. So I was totally fine with that, seeing both of them. But for the most part, I've been seeing the midwives and doing centering with the midwives. So I sat down, I was just sort of thinking about it. I'm like, okay, why am I just finding out now that I'm seeing the midwife? She's like, okay, well, she said that, the midwife was in labor and delivery, so don't overthink things. And then I saw one of the nurses who does centering, and she's like, oh yeah, she sort of said it again, but she said it like I was going to be seeing the doctors from now on, but they were going to allow me to do centering. And I'm like, what? Hold on, wait, what? And I was just like, okay. And it takes a while for me to process things sometimes. So I was just like, okay, maybe I misunderstood. I'll ask the doctor, or maybe he'll tell me something. So when I get to the doctor's office, when they call me back, he proceeds to tell me that he's like, oh yeah, I've heard a lot about you, and I heard you didn't want to see the doctors. And I sort of just laughed. I was like, yeah, and he said that he and the midwife that I saw the first time had talked, and since I do have gestational diabetes and since I am on metformin, they want me to see him from now on. And they were going to allow me to do continuous centering. So I was just like, what? It's like, okay, how is this just being sprung on me? Like, if they decided that I was going to see the doctors from now on, like, wouldn't I have gotten a call? Like, shouldn't I have gotten a call saying that, like, nothing has changed from the last time I saw my midwife to now. Like, nothing has changed. I've had gestational diabetes when I first started seeing the midwives. I've been taking metformin before I even went to that practice. My sugar levels are all awesome. My new blood work came in saying that I'm no longer vitamin D deficient. I don't understand like how it automatically changed from you're not seeing the midwives anymore. You're just going to do centering. And I'm just like, okay. And what really got me, which really got me really upset, is all he can talk about was inducing at 38 weeks. And I was like, hold on, like, if I'm still doing centering, does that mean that I can still you know, have labor with the midwife, or does that mean that, you know, I'm gonna be there in the room and have him come at the very end just to catch the baby? You know, I'm just like, what's going on? Like, my brain just couldn't wrap around this whole thing that he was saying. And he kept on bringing up induction. And unless your body goes into labor before 38 weeks. And I'm just like, what? You know, like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't really ask any questions because I couldn't process anything. Now, had they told me ahead of time that I was going to not see the midwives anymore, I could have processed it and had questions. So at the end of my appointment, he's like, do you have any questions for me? And I'm like, no. And, you know, still at the same time, I'm just like, what's going on? I don't, you know. So when I leave, I start processing it in the car. And of course, I just start crying because I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand what happened. I don't know what went wrong and why, you know? So at this point, like, I don't know who I'm going to be seeing, or who I'm supposed to call when I go into labor. I don't know if they're going to make me see the doctor or if I will still be able to labor with a midwife. If I'm going to be seeing a doctor, then I need to start freaking doing something so I can hire a doula, you know, and get a whole bunch of extra money ready for that. But if I'm going to still be able to have a midwife, then I would be fine, you know. Like, the whole point was I wanted someone to be there from the beginning to the end, and not just have someone come in at the end and, you know, just catch the baby. You know, also, I don't want to have to be induced unless it's medically necessary. You know, like, if the baby is too big, or if the baby is in danger, the baby or myself is in danger, if it's an emergency, yes, you know, I will do what I need to do. If it's not an emergency, I don't want to go through all that. I don't, unless it's medically necessary. Again, I don't want to be monitored the whole time. You know, I don't want to be strapped up and have to lay down the whole time. I want to be able to move freely, you know. So these are things that are just going through my mind right now, because even though I've had time to process it, it's just really upsetting me that, you know, now I have no clue what's going on. I refuse to cry on this video. I'm just really, really upset about it. If you've had this experience before, I know, who was the last person? I think it's Christina, the sub-frijolista. I think she had gestational diabetes, but I believe she was able to stay with her midwife. I know Renee was able to stay with her midwife as well, but I'm not sure, or I don't remember if they were also seeing a doctor as well. So I might have to message someone. But if you've had experience with this, yeah, any advice you have for me would be greatly appreciated, because right now I'm just really upset, and my husband really doesn't know what to say to me, because I think for him it's not really important as long as the baby gets here. But to me, I just feel like these are certain things that I want to at least try, you know. And it just seems like he's just getting me ready for just being induced. And this is the same way I sort of felt with the midwife the first time I met her. There's 4 in the practice, but the first one that I met, she just automatically was like, well, don't get your hopes up about breastfeeding, because it's going to be really difficult for you, you know. And I'm just like, wow. You know, I understand trying to give me a heads up, but I just hate when people just automatically exclude something right away and don't even let me have a chance or to even like really think about it anymore. You know, it's like, oh, well, it's not going to work for you. You know, so yeah, didn't really leave my appointment very happy, but I do have another scan coming up next week on Wednesday in the morning, and then a few hours later I have centering. So I will definitely be bringing up a whole bunch of questions for the midwife when I get there for centering, because I have a lot of questions now. If there's a chance that I'm just not gonna be with the midwives anymore, then I need to find a doula now and probably just stick with a doctor and a doula. It sounds bad, but at the same time, I sort of feel like if I'm just going to be switching over to the doctor, then I'm wasting my time being with the midwife, you know? And that's just how I feel right now. But yeah, that's about it for now. I do plan to do a house tour. I do plan to, I know I'm behind on my pregnancy vlog. I know it. Sorry. I know I'm behind on that, but we moved. So yeah, it was a little difficult to try to get one done while we were moving. And then I just been completely useless since we moved here. My husband's the one that unpacked the whole downstairs. And like I said, the baby's room has a whole bunch of boxes. The office has a bunch of boxes, and the storage area upstairs has a whole bunch of boxes. Yeah, I've just been useless. So that's about it that I have for now. I will definitely be keeping y'all posted, especially if you follow me on Facebook. For those of you who have sent me a request, please remember to send me a PM either through YouTube or through Facebook, preferably through Facebook, letting me know who you are, because if not, I won't add you. And I have quite a few requests, friend requests on Facebook that I just haven't answered, accepted or denied, just because I haven't received anything from you. Sometimes I'll go by how many mutual friends we have, but a lot of times I don't. I'd rather hear from you first. It's just a personal thing for me. So yeah, that's it. I will talk to y'all later. Hopefully sooner than later. All right. Bye.